had to get really clear on my vision. This isn't about chucking information at people. People have too much information. Information isn't the answer. Strategy isn't the answer. But actually, what most people need to do is implement and integrate. People get to be in front of you. They get to see you. They get to see the whites of your eyes and hear the sound of your voice. That's not possible from a social media post. You have to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're stepping people halfway into your world, but you're leaving them dry. You're leaving money on the table, there is no question. And then there's a ripple effect for a long time afterwards. The buzz that's created is incredible. It's about how you want them to feel, but what you want them to leave with as well. Welcome to today's episode, and with just a couple of weeks to go before the Biohack Your Business workshops, I thought it'd be really cool to take you behind the scenes, what I've been working on, what the workshops are all about, and the effort, the determination, the commitment that goes into creating an event, an experience like this. And I say experience because that's exactly what it is. It's an experience. If you've ever been to any of my launch events before, or even just my masterclasses, you will know that the experience is really important to me. So on today's episode, I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to talk to you about what we've been planning, what goes into this, but also crucially, so you can plan your own memorable event as well. Because if you're not already running events in your business, whether that's in person, online, retreats, whatever that event is, if you're not already running events in your business, maybe you're missing an incredible opportunity to get up close and personal with the people who matter the most to you in your business, your amazing clients and your future clients. So today's episode, behind the scenes on the Biohack Your Business workshop. The workshops I'm running aren't just about teaching business strategy. You don't need any more business strategy. They're about creating real transformation for people who are ready to align, optimize, and scale their businesses with way more clarity and certainty and passion and joy than ever before. And if you're interested in hosting your own events, you're going to get so much out of this podcast episode today. So what's coming on this episode? We're going to explore the 5 types of entrepreneurs who this workshop is perfect for. And again, think about this through the lens of your business as well. Do you tell people who your events and workshops are for? If you're not, then this is going to be super helpful for you. So let's talk about the entrepreneurs I created this workshop for. And the question to ask yourself right now is, do you see yourself in any of these archetypes? Okay, number 1, the visionary. Big ideas, but scattered execution. Craving clarity. Visionaries often have more ideas than they know what to do with. And these ideas ultimately leave visionaries stuck. A lot of my clients, my one-on-one clients at that level, come to me feeling like they've got too many ideas and they need the clarity and the simplification in their business. They need focus and clarity. What about the overachiever, archetype number 2? Thriving through hustle, but ready to really go after that freedom they want. Overachievers have built a great business, but actually are pretty damn exhausted by the constant grind and pushing. Harder work equals more business results. We know that is not true. They've got to protect their energy and build systems to do that. 3, the strategist, goal-orientated, but bogged down by complexity and distractions. Strategists love goal setting, but have a huge tendency to overcomplicate things. They need a simplified framework to really align their focus with their big vision. Number 4, the innovator, adaptable, forward-thinking, searching for sustainability. I see this. Innovators thrive on change, but they need sustainability in their business to fuel their next level of growth. They want to think more smartly about how they're running their business. And last, but by no means least, the fulfillment seekers. These people are externally successful, but yearning for so much more, deeper meaning and alignment. There's something missing for them. They want a business that feels good, as well as looks good. And look, these workshops that I am running, the Biohack Your Business workshops, are going to help each of these archetypes with these shortcomings, these gaps, these missing pieces in how they are running their business. And if any of these resonate with you right now, this is great, because this event, this workshop, was designed with you in mind. You're going to leave with clarity, with systems, with actionable strategies, with more fulfillment, with know-how on how to build, with the ability to maintain your energy. But before we got into the planning, I had to get really clear on my vision for these workshops. This isn't about chucking information at people. In fact, it's the opposite. What I find is that people have too much information. Information isn't the answer. More strategy isn't the answer. You might need some refinements on your strategy, of course. But actually, what most people need to do is implement and integrate. And that's what these workshops are all about. So I need to get really clear on what my vision for these workshops was before me and my team could get into the planning phase. What I want you to know is the workshops are structured to build momentum in your business. You're going to leave the workshops with actionable strategies and a way to build a business that not only looks good, not only builds you revenue and impact and gives you your time back, but feels good as well. And this is super important for me. I want to create an experience. And so should you, from the music to the visuals, to the way it's formatted and structured, to how you're running the show. Every part of your events and the event that I'm running needs to have this in mind. Events, workshops, masterclasses, webinars, people are running them all over the place. There's nothing new about that. What your point of difference is the opportunity to bring something different to the table, something that people won't get anywhere else, something that people have not seen before. And that's what I am doing with this, but I do with every single event, workshop, masterclass, retreat that I run. I make it my own. And that's not easy, but it's important if you want to stand out and get noticed. If you want people to book onto your things as opposed to someone else's, it's not only the experience after they've registered, but it's the messaging and the positioning up front that tells them exactly why they should attend. And now let's talk about events, whether they're online or in person. Let's talk about why they are a game-changing launch strategy for you. Number one, the power of connection. Events create a space for you to connect deeply with your audience. They're the perfect conversion event. And there's so much flexibility with how you run them. It creates an emotional connection. It builds trust. It nurtures people. And it creates a long-lasting impression. I still have people say to me, they remember so much about the virtual retreats that I've run in the past. Not only did they teach people what they needed in terms of strategy, but the experience added to it. So the connection, the trust that you create from your events are really, really important. Next, they give you an opportunity to build authority. People get to be in front of you. They get to see you. They get to see the whites of your eyes and hear the sound of your voice. That's not possible from a social media post. You have to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're stepping people halfway into your world, but you're leaving them dry. People need to hear you. They need to see you if they're going to make a decision to buy from you. So if you are launching your offers, whether that's one-on-one offers, group offers, retreats, mini courses, whatever, if you are launching offers, but you're not giving people an opportunity to hear about it up close and personal on an event, a masterclass, or a webinar, then you're leaving money on the table. There is no question. And then there's a ripple effect that events create for a long time afterwards. It's not just about impacting the attendees. It's the effect that it has on your business. The buzz that's created from an event is incredible. The testimonials, the endorsements, the things that people say can last for a long time afterwards. And you can use all of that content and that material for the next launch and the next launch and the next launch. There is nothing better for a business than to have people talking about an experience that they have had from attending a launch event or a webinar. They create true transformation and can often lead to so many onward referrals, so much future business. There is so much good that comes out of creating a conversion event in your business. And let's not forget that launch events create urgency and momentum. They naturally lead to the next step. And even if people attend and they don't want to buy the thing that you're talking about, they're in your world, they're on your email list, they've heard from you, they've seen you, and often there is something else that they want to buy instead. We hear about upsells and downsells. These are all part of a launch experience. It's not just about the offer that you're selling from the event. It's about what else they might want to buy as well as or instead of. What can you marry up with the offer that you're selling on your event? For example, what's happened for me many, many times in the past on my launches is that people have bought my program, but they've also booked onto a retreat. These things go hand in hand. Also, if they don't buy your main offer, they might buy your downsell. You have built a launch audience that can be leveraged in so many ways, so many beautiful ways for you to build onward future relationships with these people who've already stepped forward and raised their hand and who are potentially interested in doing more with you. So you might now be thinking, okay, well, how do I plan my own launch event? How do I plan my own transformational event? I'm going to share some things with you next. And if you haven't already got a pen and bit of paper beside you, go and grab one now. Of course, you can grab all of this from the show notes afterwards as well. So the very first place to start is the objective. Start with your why. Why are you doing this? What is the point? What is it that you want this to create for you in your business? As Simon Sinek says, start with why. Why do you want to do this? But it's not just about you. It's about how you want your attendees to feel, but what you want them to leave with as well. The next thing to think about is, well, who are these people? You've got to know your audience. You've got to know who it is that you're creating the event for. So you've got to design your content and the experience around the unique challenges that your audience has. Speak to their pain points. Let them see why this event will create a solution for a problem or a challenge or a frustration that they are currently experiencing. The event should feel like a journey, and you should communicate it in that way. Your messaging should spell out the journey, but the journey doesn't end with the messaging. The journey doesn't end with the promotion. The journey, you could argue, is just starting. The real journey is what you take them through on the event, the steps that they go through from turning up, showing up, absorbing the information, thinking how they can apply it in their situation, the light bulb moments, the ahas that they have, the transformation that starts, and what they leave with. But of course, it's not even over then, because for a lot of people, the journey is just starting. It's what they then go away and it's what they do with the information, the content, the transformation that you create on your event. I always say you're not selling your coaching, you're selling what your coaching will enable people to do afterwards. It's what they can then go and turn it into. That's where the real value is. That's why people are not paying for your coaching sessions, whether you're a coach, an expert, an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you do. People are not buying your time, and you shouldn't be selling your time. Your time is the lever. It's the springboard to what they can then go and do afterwards. And events are exactly the same. Next, think about how you can make your event super engaging. This is really important. No one wants to turn up to a boring thing full of Canva or PowerPoint slides. Those days are gone. That's so last decade. That's not what people want. They want to feel good. They want to create momentum. They want to feel a shift from attending. People's time is really precious. You've got to sell it to them, but you've got to show them at the event why they should stay, why they should take part, why they should come back for the next day, why they should then come and work with you. There's many, many steps to take people through. So think about the interactive elements that you can weave into it. I've used the word experience a number of times, and with good reason, because this is what your events should be. This is what the Biohack Your Business workshop is going to be. It's going to be an experience. This is what my virtual retreats at the Chateau have been previously. They've all been experiences, because the experience is what sets this aside. It's what sets you aside from your competition. So polls, interactive questions, getting people to take part, demonstrations. There's lots and lots of things that you can weave into your events that will give people a sense of participation, belonging, involvement, like they want to come back, like they are part of something that's progressive, expansive, and exciting. Remember, connection is key here. You want to create real human connections. This isn't about teaching content. It's about the connection. Arguably, you could say the connection is more important. It's what people are craving in business. People need connection to fuel their next level. It's one of the best biohacks you can have. I say this a lot. Biohacking is about doing what you need to do to get the very best out of yourself. Getting yourself in a room with the right kinds of people, getting around a table that lifts you up, that lights you up, having real, raw, honest conversations in business with people who you get and who get you back in return. There is no escaping the fact that that will create business growth, even on its own. So don't overlook that fact when it comes to planning your events. And how do you create a lasting impact? Well, that's with a really strong call to action. What do you want them to do next? What is the call to action? What is their next step? Make sure you communicate that really powerfully and impactfully so that there is no doubt in their mind what they should do next. But this isn't about forcing people to buy your thing. Far from it. You shouldn't have to do that. If you create events that are full of the right people with powerful messaging and positioning that gets the right people booking onto your event, if you're solving real problems, if you know your ideal clients, your perfect clients inside out, if you create a memorable experience, if you give them what they need, if you show them the runway ahead, if you spell out what their next steps are and give them an invitation that fills in all of the gaps, that is exactly what they need at the right time, in the right way, with the right kind of delivery and the right people, then they're going to step through and the call to action is easy. This isn't about hard pitches. This isn't about manipulating people or forcing people. This is just about showing people what's possible. And I don't know about you, but there is no better way to do business than to simply show up, talk to people, build connection, be authentic and genuine, have passion and purpose with everything you do, and make money off the back of that. This, in my world, is the very best way to build a business. This is how I'm building my business. It's how my clients are building their businesses. It's how my clients are building their businesses. And it's right at the center of the Biohack Your Business movement. My 9 lever framework is the essence of how you build a business. There are 9 levers that are not negotiable for you. You cannot overlook these 9 levers if you want to build a business exactly as I've just described, that creates revenue and profit and impact and connection and time and freedom and joy and fulfillment. I'm going to take you through what these 9 levers are so that you can see where the gaps are in your business. This is part 1 of my Biohack Your Business workshop. Part 2 is how you implement and integrate these 9 levers. You can't have the strategy without knowing what to do with it. This is a really big problem for people. People are just given the strategy and in some cases left high and dry on what to do with that strategy and how to apply it to their own unique position, their own unique business. Your business is different to mine, which is different to the next person's, which is different to someone else's. We got to respect this in business. This isn't cookie cutter. This isn't one size fits all. And that's why day 2 is just as important as day 1. I'm going to teach you how to get the very best out of yourself. We're going to talk about biohacking. We're going to talk about how you build the business that you want. Because if there is any lack of certainty, if there is any lack of clarity, if you didn't do last year what you wanted and you want to make a change this year, if you know you need to do things differently, what got you here will not get you there. If you've got ideas, if you've got determination and commitment, if you've got a plan, but you don't know how to leverage that plan, if you need someone to fill in the gaps, then this is what we are going to do at the Biohack Your Business workshop. If you were any of those 5 archetypes that I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, because this is going to be truly transformational for you. This is not like anything you've seen before. You've heard me talk about how important it is to create memorable, experience-led events. This is innovative, it's progressive, it's expansive, and it's collaborative. And this is what we all need more of in business. This stuff hasn't been shared before, and I'm very excited to share it at my upcoming workshops. So if this episode of my podcast today has landed with you, if you are excited about hosting your own events, then that's really great. Think about what I've shared with you today. If you have any doubt or missing pieces of the puzzle in your 2025 game plan, if you are curious about biohacking and the difference it can make to you, because this is different. This is by design. You've got to build your business by design. And you may have already followed someone else's blueprint. You may have already worked with someone and thought, do you know what? It didn't really work for me. There'll be reasons why that didn't work for you. And coming along to this workshop, you're going to see exactly why. It's going to fill in all the gaps that have been exposed before. Because remember, the biggest shifts in your business will only happen when you lean into all of these things that are missing. And how do you find out what's missing? The biggest problem we have is we don't know what we don't know. The workshop is going to shine a light on those exact things. Your business will only evolve to the extent that you evolve. So if there's anything within you that's holding your business back, you're going to be feeling it. And look, this applies to everyone I speak to. There is no one that I have worked with who doesn't need to perform at a higher level. There is no one that I've ever worked with who doesn't need to optimize not only their business and their systems and their strategy, but the business owner, the entrepreneur, the expert behind the business. If we really think about this, of course, it makes perfect sense. You can't build a business based on a strategy if you're not optimizing you at the same time. You can't have one without the other. This is why you will hear me talk all the time about strategy alone is not enough, and it really isn't. If you're ready to do business differently, this is perfect for you. I don't know about you, but I'm bored. I'm sick and tired of the outdated strategies that people talk about these days. There is something exciting happening, and I'm really excited to bring you the Biohack Your Business workshop. If you haven't already booked your place, click the link in the show notes. I'm really excited to see you there. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode where we've gone behind the scenes on the Biohack Your Business workshop. We've talked about memorable events and experiences. We've talked about things that are really important and how you start to plan your own event. I would love to know if you're planning an event for 2025, reach out to me, connect with me on Instagram, on Facebook, or LinkedIn. I'd love to hear about the events that you are planning, and I would love to see you at the Biohack Your Business workshop. The URL to sign up is simply karenkasanecoaching.com/workshop. Look forward to seeing you there.